Get things rolling. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back to CI Chit Chat. Mitchell Hora here with you, as always. Excited to just keep this ball rolling. There's really interesting things happening. Excited here this morning. Our downtown here in Washington is getting a facelift right now. They're out painting the parking lot lines. So things are looking bright around here. So that's good. Happy Tuesday, I guess. For anyone that's new, this is the CI Chit Chat. CI is carbon intensity. Essentially, think of it as the carbon footprint per bushel of corn and soybeans, or per bushel, or the carbon footprint of the fuel or other products that our corn and soybeans are going into. And we're talking about it because the 45Z tax credit is the law of the land. 45Z is a low carbon biofuel tax credit for renewable transportation fuels. And it is the law of the land right now. And we got to continue to be in position to capitalize on it and be ready to rock and roll here. So, a couple different things on all this. What's been really interesting here over the last couple of weeks, been a lot of fun for me, is a lot of biofuel companies, especially the CEOs of these biofuel producers, they're taking meetings and they want to talk and they want to try to start getting their ducks in a row. I've been meeting with a bunch of different biofuel CEOs over the last couple of weeks, especially that over the beginning part of the year and really even especially the beginning part of the year, the biofuel industry and a lot of these producers, they didn't know what was going to happen with the 45Z program. They didn't know, was it going to live or die? Was it going to get cut in the big beautiful bill? And obviously now that, the uh, it was protected, right? A lot of the Inflation Reduction Act was cut in the big beautiful bill. The 45Z program was saved, and not only saved but extended, and other provisions adjusted to make it even better for American biofuel producers and those providing the feedstock, aka in a lot of cases the farmers. So things are really looking in a positive direction since passing the big beautiful bill on the 4th of July. So since that point, now a lot of the biofuel producers and their leadership, they're starting to try to figure out what to do, and they're wanting to have conversations. Things are still moving very, very slowly. Okay, we don't have the final rules yet. That's very important to continue to keep in mind. There's no money flowing, not at scale. Right? There's been a couple deals made, like Gevo sold $25 million worth of tax credits, and they got some cash brought in on that. Harvestone, we've talked about for almost a year now. They sold $205 million worth of tax credits almost a year ago. Now, those weren't all 45Z credits. They're able to tap into multiple things because of the improvements that they've made at their multiple ethanol facilities and the carbon capture that they already have. So they already know that they're going to be able to tap into an array of different tax credit programs, and they're brokering out those credits. Brokering the credits and making sure that you've got a place to sell your credits if you are involved in a biofuel production, if you're on a board of a biofuel plant, or involved in any way in the production side, you need to be figuring out who's going to purchase your tax credits if you're going to be in a position to sell any excess tax credits, or if you don't pay federal income tax at your biofuel producer, it's passed to the shareholders. You need to figure out how to get these tax credits brokered. And we work with Mickelson and Co. There's a couple other brokers that we have a relationship with as well, but Mickelson and Co. is a key one. I actually have Faith jumping on a webinar with me here tomorrow morning. Let me make sure I don't say it wrong. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we're going to be talking tax credits. We're going to be we're going to be talking about tax credit brokerage with Faith from Mickelson and Co. It's going to be awesome. We've got like north of 300 people registered for it, which is going to be great. So a nice big crowd and a heck of a conversation here. And the point of that being, 45Z is moving forward. We know that the credits are going to be transferable. We don't have all the rules yet, but biofuel producers and farmers, we got to get our ducks in a row. And now that we know things are happening, we can at least start getting our ducks in a row. We can have systems in place ready to hit go when that time comes. So, starting at the final piece of all this is you got to have somebody who's going to buy your tax credits, right? And that's where Mickelson and Co. as a tax credit broker, they can help to arrange those deals. Those are happening right now at scale. it's time to rock and roll. So that's the final stage of it. You got to make sure that your CPA firm is ready to go, and working with your consultants as well. So been working a lot here recently with, the likes of eco engineers and Christensen's and those kind of folks that are helping biofuel producers get their data organized. The CPA firms helping to make sure that you're hitting prevailing wage and registered apprenticeship and the nuances of the 45Z program that are critically important to maximizing the credit. Got to be working on those kind of things now. And on the farm, we got to be working on our data collection and making sure that we know what our CI scores are, making sure we're keeping good records, and we're in position to help our biofuel producers who want to capitalize on this thing. It's been very interesting over the last multiple weeks of the sentiment coming from these biofuel producers. I was just on a meeting yesterday with a biofuel CEO that I can't disclose all the details on right now, but hopefully be able to talk more publicly about later. But we're just on with a CEO yesterday who's like, "Yeah, of course, we want as much of the money as possible going to our farmers." And yeah, like what Continuum is putting together with their CI certificates, like yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna need. Like, of course, if you've got farmers that have their data put together and 40 the rules come out the way that we expect them to, of course we want to buy that data. We want to pay the farmers as much as possible, which was it's just amazing to hear some of these plants that are really being proactive and really want this to be great for their farmers. And I think that's important that number one, farmers, we need to be talking with our, the biofuel producers once again. I mean, trying to help facilitate that as much as I can. And it's about collaboration, that by getting the farmers and the biofuel plant working together to really maximize this program, we can grow the tax credit pie for everybody, and everybody be able to go home with a bigger slice of pie because we've got more participation, a lower CI score, and more credits to go around. So amazing to see some plants that are saying, yeah, of course. And like, we want to get as much of the money to the farmers as we can. It's just amazing, amazing to hear. The other piece, the other side of the coin of that is there's some plants that are like, nope, we're not going to do anything. We don't think there's going to be any money there. And even if there is, like, it's not going to be enough to, cover the costs and probably not going to be anything for the farmers, which is just, it's really disheartening. But also, I get it. Like the biofuel industry, I think as farmers, we got to keep in mind the biofuel industry has gone through a lot of ups and downs. They've gone through a lot of different government programs that sometimes pan out, plenty of times they don't pan out. And we've even seen that so far with 45Z, right? That the rules were supposed to be out by the previous administration. They didn't get it done, and now we're still sitting here waiting, right? So we've got to be patient. And I got to, I'm speaking to myself here of there's some amazing positives out there, that there's some biofuel producers that are really going to be ready to rock and roll. I think going to set us up in an amazing position as a ag and biofuel industry to work together and really prove that this can really work. So there's some of those producers that are going to be ready to rock and roll, and there's other ones that not so much. Going to kind of be late to the party. And I think everybody will still have some opportunity though when it's all said and done. So um, what we're doing right now is again make sure that you know your CI score and make sure your neighbors and stuff have their CI score as well. If this thing ends up being a mass balance, which is still one of the biggest unknowns in this, right? Is when the rules come out, is the program a mass balance or a book and claim? And as a reminder, mass balance means the grain and the data stay together. You've got to have semi traceability, and your crop has to end up physically going into biofuel production to get the credit. Under book and claim, there's decoupled, where the crop goes wherever you want to sell the crop. The data can be sold to any biofuel producer on the open market. That's what we're advocating for. We think it'd be a lot easier. We've already proven exactly how it can be done. We have it all done and documented, and I'm presenting it to the Trump administration folks and to other folks that are in leadership in the biofuel space. We know how to do it. We also understand how to do mass balance as well. We're ready for either one. But if it is mass balance, that means farmer. if you are selling into a biofuel production, let's talk ethanol, right, to make it easier. If you produce corn, it's going into ethanol, and this thing is mass balance, your crop alone probably doesn't move the needle enough to make it worth it for your biofuel producer to chase these credits and to pay you anything. We got to have volume, meaning 20% participation, maybe close to 50% participation. We got to have some volume here. And it very much so can be done. I've seen it. We've got some of those pockets put together where we've got great initial participation. It can absolutely be done, but we've got to be speaking to our neighbors and our elevators and our agronomy companies and stuff, just at least making sure that people know that and are aware of this thing, right? Like they got to be aware of what's going on here. And let me get this. Our friends and neighbors got to be aware of what's going on and got to at least know what their score is so that they're in position to capitalize on this thing. It's going to take verified data. It's going to take data when it's all said and done. But at a minimum, we can at least start with running base scores, which is done for free on topsoil. The next phase, though, is to start getting the data put together. And I wanted to speak to these research and development credits again. So I know that there's still plenty of risk when it comes to full-blown CI certification and getting enrolled in our audit process. Absolutely looks like that's going to be part of the program. Gonna need to go through it at some point, but I understand that things are really tight on the farm and crop prices are not good. Hopefully the yields hold on, but man, things are I know things are tough out there. So we're trying to make sure that we continue to keep to our core mission of Continuum Ag and helping farmers improve their profitability via improving their soil health. So improving farmer profitability is not just about the 45Z program or carbon. We also have research and development tax credits we're connecting farmers with. We have our preferred partners that on our website that have different tools that can help you out to drive profitability and reduce input costs on your farm. We've got a partner that does cost share programs and stuff on your behalf. And for research and development credits and for the cost share, for our customers, there's no additional cost to connect with these companies and get your R&D credits going or get your cost share going. And if you are able to get a return from these programs, there's just a success fee at the end. It's an awesome, awesome way to get family farms as much value as we can possibly get you. But we've got to get the ball rolling on these things. They all take time, they all take data. And that's why it fits into our core program because we're helping farmers get their data organized, or you own your data, you control where it goes to. We just put you in position to try to capitalize on it as many times over as we possibly can. Because, man, we need it right now on the farm. We need all the avenues that we can muster up to try to continue to be profitable and keep surviving here and make it. And we don't know what the future is going to bring. So anyway, these R&D credits, we continue to connect folks with it. We're working through the process on our own farm right now. And I want to hit on that again, like R&D credits, cost share, 45Z stuff, all of these things that we are bringing to our farmer network, we're doing it because we see the value for our own farm. That's been my mantra this entire time that I've been building this company for the last 10 years is I've been building all the things that we need for our own family farm that's here in Southeast Iowa, right? We are we're doing a bunch of innovative stuff. Well, hey, here's these R&D credits. How could we tap into that? Well, hey, Continuum's got a partner. We went out and found a company that does R&D credits. It's actually Continuum Ag's own CPA firm that we've been doing our own taxes with for the last like, I don't know, 3, 4 years now that we've been working with these guys. And we've been doing R&D credits at Continuum Ag. Now, the big beautiful bill fixed things up that now it's available to farmers. And not only for your 2025 inputs, but only for this upcoming tax filing, you can actually look back to the previous years and look back and fix what the previous administration there was funkiness with the R&D credits, but just for this year's tax filing, you can look back and get your R&D credits and basically get tax credits as you have tried new to you hybrids and varieties if you've tried biologicals, cover crops, variable rate, different testing, anything that is that can be deemed as research and development can qualify for these credits. And yeah, for our customers, connecting with these guys to have your 30-minute consultation and figure out, exactly how good of a program this is going to be for you. There's no cost in doing that and connecting with these guys. So I don't know. I just see it as an add-on that we can bring to our customers, um, and really work. So everybody that's in Topsoil Connect, we're I think it's a no-brainer to get connected with these groups, if you've been doing business with us. So anyway, these R&D credits, amazing opportunity, especially right now to capitalize. The cost share opportunities, those windows are starting to open up. We've never done any of the federal cost share stuff on our farm, so it's like, well, might as well at least explore it and see if there's opportunities out there. We've been doing a lot of these conservation programs out of our own pocket. Maybe we can try some new things. Maybe we can go even further in our efforts and let's see what different programs are out there from both the public and the private side of things. So I got a partner that's helping us to do that and connecting all of our Continuum customers with these guys. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity out there that 45Z is still looking amazing, but there's multiple other ways that we can put dollars in farmers' pockets while still chasing the big opportunity of 45Z. So I don't know. It's been good. I think things are moving in a good direction. We'll see what keeps happening from there. I've mentioned a couple times that the status of 45Z is there's a public comment period open right now with the Department of Energy. Okay, so Department of Energy opened up a public comment period a little bit more than a month ago. It's open till September 22nd. I have our initial report and materials drafted up and getting feedback on those. I'll continue to work with some key partners and getting feedback and making sure that my thought process and our process here at Continuum, I want to make sure that we're thinking about this the right way. This is some complicated stuff. So I want to make sure that we're in alignment with other industry groups like Renewable Fuels Association and Growth Energy. I want to make sure that we are in alignment with other key players. And as I ensure that we're in alignment with them, we'll be public in sharing, our comments that we're going to be pushing to the Department of Energy and send those links out to all of our followers and stuff and make sure that you know how to submit your public comment as well. And again, I think the key is going to be the Department of Energy is overseeing the CI scoring process at the ethanol plant. Part of that biofuel producer CI score is the feedstock. And the message from the ag community has to be an overwhelming, hey, the ag community is ready to help our biofuel friends decarbonize. Here's the data we can bring to the table. Here's the innovation we can bring to the table. Department of Energy, don't forget about us. You've got feedstock calculators ready to go. We've got process for getting it verified, doing tracking, having price discovery. We've got these things ready. Don't forget about us. That's going to be, I believe, the key message. So, um, yeah, things are, I don't know. Like I said, I'm excited. I think things are in a good spot, but it's going to be a little while before we get full clarity. And that's why I think farmers, we need to get our data organized here now before we get too busy harvesting. I know we're going to be starting really soon. A lot of this crop has been falling apart with disease over the last 10 days. So I know there's going to be combines moving here soon. I really think there's a window here to get the ball rolling with Topsoil Connect to get your data, start getting your data tracked for 45Z, get connected with our partner for R&D credits and get going on that now, and get connected with our partner to do cost share and get the ball rolling on all these things. None of this stuff just happens overnight. So utilizing this window that we've got available right now before things get too busy, you can get the ball rolling now, then we go harvest, and you can get stuff finished up over the winter, and we should have even better clarity by that point. So, I think 45Z will get. We're still a couple months from full clarity on that, and that's where I'm like, I get it of fully going and trying to get all the data collected for audit and you know get through verification right now. We've got a lot of farmers that are doing it. Obviously, I encourage farmers to get your data, get your data in topsoil, be involved in CI certification, get ready to go. and get things verified, that is ultimately what's going to be needed. So get going on that now, especially if you already are delivering crop to the ethanol plant. You know that you're in position to capitalize. CI certification is ready to roll. But to just get the ball going and start on data collection and get connected with these other partners, you can do it just with Topsoil Connect and kind of baby step into this. So, a couple other thoughts. I've been getting some, as I'm talking with these folks, it's a lot of folks asking like, what is going to happen with the government? What is going to be their the rules and stuff? When are things going to happen? And nobody knows. Like, I don't know all the answers to when we're going to get rules coming out. I don't know how it's going to be tied together amongst the different departments, right? This is a tax credit. Ultimately, it's under the jurisdiction of the IRS and the Department of Treasury, but DOE is involved, right? They're going to do the emissions request process. USDA is involved. They've been continuing to develop the MRV protocol and their feedstock calculator. Things are happening in these other departments. I don't yet know how coordinated they're going to be, but it seems like those conversations are happening and they understand who's going to do what. And I think it's also the Department of Treasury pointing to the DOE and pointing to USDA saying, guys, we got a bunch of stuff going on here with tariffs and changes and all these other changes in tax code. DOE, USDA, you got to help us out on this biofuel and farm thing, and which is good. A little cross collaboration there, and making sure that the right players are in position to put together the right components of the rules. So I think that's going in a good direction. But that brings about, what again remains unknown and likely won't get sorted out for another couple months. I think it's going to be a little while here later on in harvest or as we're wrapping up harvest, hopefully around that time, getting things more clear. But again, ball's rolling now. Some ethanol plants are ready to roll. If you're if you are talking with your ethanol plant, they want to have a conversation and determine how they're going to collect the farmer data using our software or somebody else's. There's a lot of moving parts here that these biofuel producers got to get lined up. Again, there's no money flowing now. We're not getting anything. I still have never been paid a nickel by an ethanol plant. Right? It's not happening. Uh, the money's not going. There's still a lot of dust to settle, but these producers can get their ducks in a row now and know who are their partners going to be to facilitate the different items needed for 45Z. Um, just getting those dominoes lined up because it's going to be a narrow window between getting the rules out and tax filing. And between getting the rules finalized and tax filing, you got to collect all this farmer data, get it audited, integrate an anticipated new CI calculator, right? Your CI score on topsoil today. I can I, I can't guarantee anything, but I'd bet a lot that there's going to be a new CI calculator coming out. So your CI score is probably going to be different for your feedstock. Again, pending getting these rules out and clarity from the government about the inclusion of the feedstock and inclusion of the farmers. I think there's going to be updates to your score, updates to the calculator, and we're ready to roll for that. And how it works is, like topsoil, we collect all the farmer data in farmer language. It's stored in a secure database. It's actually on the Amazon web server. So it's in a secure database. And then we plug in the calculator. Right now it's the GREET feedstock calculator. And this data can be ran through the calculator and it spits out the score. Well, we have set up the software so that we can integrate a new calculator whenever we need to because we know they're going to continue to update it. So we've made it where we can unplug this old calculator, plug in a new calculator, hit recalculate, and it spits out all the new scores. So it makes it a lot easier for the farmer. You enter the data one time and you're good to go. So anyway, interesting to see, again, the sentiment kind of picking up and we'll see what happens. Bob, yeah. I will need to spend money on a large scale to seed cover crops in 2 months if this happens. A lot of farmers hit me up here recently, Bob, about, all right, how do I position my farm to really, maximize the value of my CI score? And cover crops is the big one. Now, I encourage you, try to keep your cover crop expenses low. Things are tight. Try to keep your application costs as low as we can. Things are tight. Look at some of these other programs. That's why we've got this cost share partner that can help offset some of those costs if there's some cost share programs that are out there. This R&D partner, if you're experimenting with new cover crops, new blends, new application methods, that testing, that those trials, if you're trying new cover crop methods and stuff, that qualifies as research and development. Okay, so we're really trying to make sure that we're helping farmers de-risk this as much as we can. That under today's GREET model, in almost every county, the biggest thing that moves the needle on your CI score is plant to cover crop. So, and cover crop has been consistent every time there are rules come out or similar programs, right? 40B used to be the bundle, remember? A couple years ago. Cover crop, reduced till, stabilizers. Then that was the 40B program. Then under the draft guidance that came out under the Biden administration, cover crop, no-till, reduced till, spring nitrogen, split applied nitrogen, stabilizers, those are the practices. But still the consistent ones, cover crop, reducing tillage, some type of nitrogen management. I don't think those core categories are going to change. What is different amongst different methodologies that we've seen come out is how is manure going to be included? Is it going to be this specific rate of fertilizer, or is it going to be your 4R management practices that go on top of that fertilizer application? How involved is, energy usage or some of these other nuances? Are those going to be included? Is timing going to be included? Those are the things I don't know, but the consistencies that I don't see any, uh, I don't see any path where they go away. The consistent practices are cover crop, reduce tillage, and then something around fertilizer management. So yeah, I do think, it's get your cover crop applied, but it's also like, man, for our farmers that are in Topsoil Connect or CI certification, get connected with with our cost share guys. There's probably programs that can help offset the cost of doing these things. Get connected with our R&D guys. There's probably credits that you can earn for lowering your tax liability to offset the cost of doing these things. Like, and plus, of course, if 45Z comes through, you're in an amazing spot. So I, I wish I had all the final details. All I can do is help make sure that we're all avoiding the risk as much as we can, and we want to help. So anyway, chat with our guys. We have these conversations there. We are sending over farmers to our R&D credit partners and to our cost share partners all day, every day. So get connected with us. We want to get you in best position to succeed here. I, I don't know how things are going to work out. All I can do is try to help as many people as I can from the farm and biofuel producers. All I can do is try to help you out as much as I can, and that's what we're here to do. So anyway, we're gonna keep after it. Exciting things going on. Hit me up anytime or any of our guys over here. We want to try to help you. So good stuff. Good luck if you are getting out in the fields. Be safe out there. Hopefully yields turn out good for you. I'm excited to see what happens on our farm. But anyway, we will see you next week back here on the Chit Chat. Thanks, everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow on the webinar. Super important. Faith Larson, Mickelson and Co. talking what the tax credit brokerage space is looking like. Really, really good insight. So we'll see you tomorrow on that webinar and go from there. Thanks, everyone.